everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Liz here. So today we're going to talk about my food staples and also foods that I avoid. And I don't typically use the word avoid very loosely, especially when I'm talking about health and fitness. But in this case, these are foods that I usually avoid. Hello guys, it's Editing Liz here, and I want to make a really quick disclaimer before we move into the video. In this video, when I am using the word avoid, what I mean is that these are the food that I typically don't really have in my day-to-day diet because they make me feel very lethargic or they make me very bloated and uncomfortable. These are just foods that I've noticed and that I've learned not to really consume as much because it doesn't make me feel my best. I don't want to come off as saying that these are the foods that I avoid and I restrict myself from having, because you guys probably know by now, if you were to keep up to date with my content, that I am very vocal on non-restricting and eating foods that make you feel good and look good. So these are just foods that personally don't really work for me because they make me feel very tired and very uncomfortable. But by no means I'm restricting myself from it. I will explain a little bit more at the end of the video, so make sure you watch to the end for the full explanation. But basically I talk about how I still have it, but just not as often, and it's not very common for me to consume these foods because of the effect they have on my body. Just want to clear that up in case the word avoid can be quite overwhelming for some people. I want you guys to know that my intention is to never tell you to avoid something completely and to restrict yourself. I just simply mean that it just does not work too well for me, for my personal body, and for my overall health. Hopefully that clears some things up, and let's keep on going. But we're gonna first go into the foods that I do find very essential in my diet and I think will help you guys get a better insight of what I eat. Okay, number one, this is a drink and it is hot lemon water. I have a glass of hot lemon water almost every single day, and it's just such a nice, refreshing way to wake up your body, you know, activate your digestive tract, get ready for the day. So yeah, waking up every single day with a nice glass of hot lemon water is just perfect. Next, we have celery juice. I have celery juice almost every day. It's more of every other day. I actually drink this before I have my glass of hot lemon water because it's best when you drink it on an empty stomach and wait 15 minutes before you consume anything else. So that's what I like to do. It's just a really good way to cleanse your body from any toxins. Yeah, overall it has a lot of health benefits. I wouldn't say it's a miracle juice like some people would. I think it's just a very healthy juice out there that it's nice to implement into your life. So it's just nice to have a glass. It's good for you, it's refreshing. Next is matcha green tea. I absolutely love matcha. It's so good. It's so good. I can honestly have it every single day. I usually have matcha green tea or celery juice depending on what I'm feeling that day. I just love matcha. It's so delicious. I can literally have it in everything. Besides the fact that it tastes amazing, it's also very high in antioxidants. It helps boost your metabolism. It also helps with reducing inflammation. So lots of amazing health benefits. Next is a green smoothie, and again, this is not a food, but it's still something that I find very essential in my diet. And it's a green smoothie with a lot of greens, like 90% greens, and the other 10% is fruits. It's a very green smoothie, very leafy, and usually I would just use 3 ingredients in the smoothie: spinach, half an apple, and half a banana, and also the little dash of either almond milk or water. I think it's very important to know what is going into your green smoothie, because if you were to buy it somewhere else, you know, at a store or something, you don't know what is being put into it, and a lot of times it's very, very high in sugar, like very high. And most of the time it's just not actually healthy for you, even though it's a healthy smoothie. So yeah, I don't buy smoothies anywhere else. I just make my own, and they are just so good, so yummy. Okay, next is an actual food item, and it is avocados. Fresh avocado. They're so freaking good. They are very high in nutrients, potassium, lots of good fiber, and lots of healthy fats. So they are definitely a staple in my diet. I usually only have half an avocado every single day because a full avocado is a little too much for me, but a half is perfect. So good on toast with a sunny side up egg, or you know, on some rice crackers, or in an egg omelet. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry right now. I'm just thinking about it. Bishabakadoo. Who doesn't like avocados? Do you like avocados? Please comment down below if you don't like avocados. I won't come for you. Next, we have oatmeal. And if you follow me on Instagram, which is at elisvchu, you'll know that I love oatmeal. I basically have oatmeal every single day, almost. And it is just such a yummy, nice, full and hearty bowl of delicious divineness. So yummy. It's very, very high in nutrients, like everything else I've listed so far. Packed with iron, potassium, magnesium. It also has a really good source of soluble fibers, which help control, you know, your cholesterol levels and your sugar levels. So your body is very well and balanced. I have a quarter cup almost every single day and top it off with some yummy fruits like bananas, blueberries, apples, a sprinkle of like chia seeds or hemp seed, and I always top it off with some nut butter because nut butter is so good, and that is going to be our next item, which is nut butter. All right, nut butter, yum. That's all I need to say. I love almond butter. It's just so delicious. It's probably my favorite nut butter. It's very good for you, packed with healthy fats. Who doesn't like that, right? And my favorite ways to eat it is to add a little bit into my oatmeal or put it on a piece of rice cracker and put a few little slices of bananas, or my favorite way is to eat it with apples. I love it with apples. It's so delicious. Gosh, I'm so hungry right now. Next, we have veggie. Whoa, that was weird. What the heck? I just kind of like sang a little bit. Next, we have veggies. I love veggies. I think I just like anything green, if you guys haven't noticed. The celery juice, the matcha, the veggies, the green smoothies. Maybe I just like green. Oh my god, I'm wearing green. Oh, and I have green. Oh wait, no. I have green right here. It's not my favorite color though, but I like green foods. You guys probably already know this. Leafy greens are super important to implement into your diet. You should be eating a good portion of greens, you know, veggies every single day. Some of my favorite veggies are spinach, cabbage, tomatoes, carrots, zucchinis. Ooh, I love zucchinis. Cauliflower, broccoli, lots of those Asian vegetables. I don't know how to say in English, but you can just find these amazing greens at any of your local supermarket. Greens are friends. Greens are good. Next, we have fruits. I love fruits so much. Fruits have always been a huge staple in this household. We always have fruits in this house, like apples, oranges, kiwis, pear, peach, cherries, mangosteen, passion fruits, berries, also those, you know, Asian melons and stuff like that. All the fruits I can think of. Like we usually always have some. Oh, pomegranates. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot pomegranates. Oh, it sounds so good. There's like one huge pomegranate right now in the fridge and I cannot wait to freaking eat that. Fruits are just so divine, and they are perfect for, you know, when you're having a sweet tooth, or if you like to have dessert, you can always just swap out for a fruit. Okay, next is beans. I usually like to have it in a porridge form. So I would put a variety of different types of beans into a high pressure cooker and add some water, and you basically just cook it for a couple of minutes. And after you have this delicious pot of yummy porridge that is just filled with amazing goodies. It sounds kind of weird now I'm saying it out loud, like beans and water, but trust me, it's really good. I usually have a small bowl of it every single dinner with my meals, and it's usually my mom who's cooking, so she'll make, you know, a big platter of veggies and with some proteins on the side, and we'll always have a little bowl of porridge. So it's very, very well balanced. Yeah, it's so yummy. Oh my gosh. And last but not least, before we get into the foods that I don't eat, water. Water, guys, you just have to drink it. Our bodies need water. You just have to keep replenishing it with water because it's so important. I saw a huge change in my weight and my overall health when I really started to drink a lot of water. Like, I'm not kidding, guys. It's really good for you. You need water. Like, it's just so simple too. You just need to put it into a glass and just sip on it. Like, that's it. Okay, now we're gonna go into foods that I do avoid, and we're gonna start off with processed foods. I rarely ever consume processed food. unless it's like once in a while I have a little chippy here or a little snacky here, but it's rarely ever in my diet. For me, I just personally like to see where and how my food is being made because it's gonna go into my body, you know. I want to know what I'm gonna put into my body. Most of the time, it's really like the foods that come in a package, you know, like frozen foods. Some of it are very processed. I'm not saying to completely just never eat it ever again, but it's just, yeah, something to be watch out for. Also, processed foods have quite a lot of sugar in them a lot of times. That's why they're so addictive, because of the sugar that is put into them. And refined sugar is a very addictive type of food, which I'm gonna go into right now, and that is sugar. I avoid refined sugar most of the times. Again, like all these foods I avoid, like I don't completely omit it from my diet. I have it here and there. With refined sugar, I mean, there's just so many better alternatives that are natural and actually good for you. And if you watch my quarantine transformation video, then I talked about there that I avoid processed food and refined sugar, and it helped me a lot to lose weight. So if you are on this fitness journey to lose weight, then these two things are definitely food items that you want to kind of back away from. Next is empty carbs, and that is very processed bread, pasta, empty calories, basically what I'm trying to say. And I just don't really enjoy eating them, to be honest, because I feel so bloated after. I feel quite tired. Just thinking about it makes me kind of uncomfortable because the other day I made pasta and it was good, but my tummy said no. And I listened to what my tummy says. It's not worth it. The bloat is not worth it. I don't like it. I just don't really gravitate toward these empty carbs anyway. No point in them. They don't really give you any nutrients except empty calories. And you know, we don't want that. Well, I don't want that. Totally fine if you do, but I personally don't want that. Next is sugary drinks and also carbonated drinks. Like I said earlier, refined sugar, not a big fan. So these sugary and carbonated drinks are packed with them, like packed. Like soda, not a big fan of soda, to be honest. Yeah, I just never like soda anyway, so it's not really difficult for me to avoid. But as for, you know, sugary drinks, I think once in a while is totally fine. I would, you know, sometimes go out with my sister to get boba or try a new drink place with my friends, you know, those kind of things. So yeah, it's not completely cut out of my diet, but I just don't really ever have it, only sometimes. And I think it's yummy, but I just don't really gravitate towards having a sugar drink or a carbonated drink like soda. Next is dairy. I don't know what happened, but I guess I'm lactose intolerant now. I wasn't before when I was a kid, but now I am. And whenever I have dairy, my tummy says no. I'm not like to the point where I can't take dairy at all, but when I do, it just feels so uncomfortable and I don't really like the feeling of it. So I'm basically dairy free. Last but not least is fried, oily food. Fried food is very high in trans fat. Your body has a very hard time breaking down trans fat, so it doesn't really know what to do with it. It'll store it in places where you don't want it to be stored. Overall, just not the best for your body. I mean, but don't get me wrong, though, like yesterday I just ate a tater tot, so that was definitely fried, but it's rarely that I ever have fried foods. It's just packed with nothing but grease and oil and fat. And I hope that everything that I've said so far is not too overwhelming. It's like, oh my god, there's so many foods that are bad, or so many foods I need to watch out for and stuff. These are the foods that I definitely don't ever really have in my diet. Maybe, you know, once in a while, but I tend to avoid them. And I want to make it clear that there's nothing wrong with consuming these types of food, as long as, you know, everything in moderation. I don't ever want to cut out a food group because it's bad for me. Like, it's totally okay to indulge and to eat foods that you want, because I do that all the time. I never restrict myself, and I say it all the time because it's so important. Do not restrict yourself. I'm not trying to tell you guys to never eat these type of food again or to do what I'm doing, because, you know, our bodies are very different. The way we eat, our preferences, very different. So find what works for you. I'm just sharing the things that I do eat and the things that I don't, so it can help you guys a little bit more, hopefully. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found this video somewhat helpful. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram at eatlessbechew and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys really soon. Bye.